So it's been a while since I posted a video. If you're watching this, you're struggling with this front suspension on your GasGas. You see I've got mine in bits, and I'll explain what I'm doing and go from there. First off, it'd be worth noticing that your bolts that sit in your triple clamp, these ones here, to have this in this hole, you cannot physically get a standard size socket on top of these in there. So you can see I've swapped these for Allen heads, and the difficulty that I had was to get, if I can move you, excuse me, to get in there I had to have a socket, and will it focus, and I used a grinder and I shaved off the wall of the socket to make it thinner, and that allowed me to get it into here for these two to get them out. But actually, I don't know if you can see, but it then pretty much annihilated the socket and it's no good now. It was like a one-time use only thing. You can see it's dead. So I got them out and I've now gone for these Allen heads, much better. I'm going to assume you know what you're doing regarding changing fork seals. I did the same, but actually I've ended up with a pogo stick for front shockers. And it turns out I missed a very important part when I changed my seals. And on this fork here, if I can find it, you can see here, I had a small chip and a leak. And I've used a little bit of nail varnish. I had blue, sadly at the time, but a little bit of blue nail varnish, and it filled that hole and actually doesn't leak anymore. And I put my new seals in, and all was fine, apart from a pogo stick. So, to cure the pogo stick issue, you need to strip your fork down by getting out of the triple clamps, and by stripping it down by undoing the top nut, and then by undoing the bolts in the bottom of the fork, which is here, and then by putting, you'll have this spring and spacer on top, and then having a 19mm socket on here, you can undo this top bit and that comes off. And then what you're interested in is this damper rod here. So what you need to do with this damper rod is actually push the bottom in. So I've got the original bolt out the bottom of the short damper from the fork itself. I put that in there. You see that's my manual there in the background, reminding me how much oil to put in the fork afterwards. If I now take this out of the way, you can see, I don't know if you can see it, there's a small circlip in there. Can you see it there? Just here. Pop that out, then this will come out. So you can see I've got the clip out. I've now put a 9mm spanner on here with the bolt back in. I'm using the hammer to give it a quick short jab, which is slowly bringing out the inner bush. Bush is now out, or the plug, or whatever you want to call it, and you can see inside. So once you've got your first plug out, you're then left with a spring inside here. Then if you look down, you'll see this plug, and what you need to do is to push the rod up, which will pop this out here, which is the bottom of the sealed unit. So the sealed unit is in here, and it's this area here that you need to squirt the 80ml of oil into, and then bring this back down, and then the seal can go on top of that, the spring on top of here, and then that one on top of that. This is where it wants to go, the oil. It's a right faff, but that's where the oil wants to go. Oh, that's just the seal there. Importantly, once you've put the 80ml of oil in here and you've rebuilt it back up, and you put it back in the fork leg, you need to make sure there's some oil in here before you push it down to do the air gap and the oil level that you need for the fork. Because if you don't, then you're going to suck air straight back into the sealed damper unit. So make sure you put oil back in here before you squash it down. Okay? I hope that's been helpful.